destroying from what was once for me personally, one of the unhealthiest metas we had for the first 4 to 5 weeks. By around late week 4, early week 5, things have shifted. We're starting to see that this is the meta that really rewards poison picks, surprise picks, and that's something that RSG Philippines, that's not their comfort zone. Back in their height of their championship, back in MPL Philippines Season 9, when they defeated the then Smart Omega roster, they didn't want to go up against them with how poisonous they are. Between these two teams, Falcon's Ap.Bren has a deeper history of more poison picks and showing new strategies to set the meta. So with Matilda getting banned out here by RSG Philippines, that's a reminder that yes, Matilda is most definitely back in the meta with how well she can just shut down and target key players. She's sort of like a modern-day Jawhead now in terms of like single-target burst roamers.
Yep, and what's interesting is that even the Faramis is taken out here by Falcon's Ap.Bren themselves. So we might be seeing a different kind of gameplay coming in from Falcon's Ap.Bren. And going back to what you mentioned earlier, I think the player from RSG Philippines who tends to bring out the more surprising picks, if not from Light, which I feel they might not be attempting to do anytime soon, it's mostly really Irad.
Yeah.
Irad either being one of the few players, aside from I think MP the King, to use the Lancelot in this season, and also comparing him to Kyle TZ, he's also shown other junglers as well, such as the Benedetta and the Export. So there are a lot of things that RSG Philippines might want to adjust, not just in terms of their junglers.
In terms of the first picks, let's see if Hayabusa or if it's going to be Roger, but no! They went ahead and just got the Fanny right away. So because of the changes to Roger, I understand why teams would want to consider not getting him anymore as a first pick. But between these two, you have to acknowledge that this is an Irad comfort. Yes, I know people have been quite vocal about their opinions of Irad and his shaky mechanics so far this season, especially this week. Wink, wink, if you know, you know, Julian. Now with the Fanny, they get a strong pick for themselves in Kyle TZ. So I think RSG Philippines, I would not be so surprised if they go ahead and get the Cho in the first phase, maybe in the third pick, and now they can get power picks.
Yep.
They can get the Moss Call.
Among any, one of the most comfortable picks we've seen from Light so far. Or will they want to like hide their strategies for later and just immediately pick up what else is remaining for the jungle role? Oh, it isn't the Hayabusa or anything else. It's going to be still the Julian that you previously mentioned here for Irad. I think it's likely going to go into the hands of Irad.
Yeah, there's going to be a jungle pick for sure. Depending on what the roamer pickup is here for Falcon's Ap.Bren, Aqua might end up with something along the lines of a Valentina to steal away key ultimates if it's an ultimate heavy hero. This Ruby most likely will go into the hands of Light. So they're just going for that quick crowd control. Let's say Ap.Bren, let's see. They can go ahead and pick their gold laner right now, but Paris still open. But, oh, okay. So stick with Vixana. This, I think, should be a Valentina pickup already for Aqua. You're getting two ultimates that you can get, and both crowd control heavy. That takes away the pressure of the Ruby to be able to set in crowd control, with the Valentina being able to do that too, and potentially with the EXP laner pick that they have later on to be able to do that as well.
Yep, unless they really want to face on, take on Falcon's Ap.Bren in terms of the early game aggression, but we're yet to see the other remaining picks for RSG Philippines. I mean, previously Aqua, we also know him to be a very versatile mid laner. There were times he used the Zaz, the Zushin, or maybe even the Lilia if they really want to add a little bit more pressure, as you mentioned.
Oh yeah, you're right, yes.
Early game presence that they might do against Kyle TZ, which is currently taking hold of the Fanny. But instead of anything else, they proceed with the Aurora, so they want to still play it a little bit safe. This is still the Fanny that we're talking about, and not revealing or not being entirely sure what the Light hero may be just yet. We're not entirely sure if they really want to go for that kind of approach of like disrupting the early game jungling here for Kyle TZ.
Yeah, you know what, earlier I was saying that that's most likely a Light Ruby, but now Cho would be great for RSG Philippines if it's going to be available for them, or maybe the Grok. So those, what we call high invade roamers who can quickly peek into the jungle. Even though I understand how strong he is, I would be slightly off with a high loss pick on RSG Philippines, considering that it takes a bit of time now to really feel his effect. And I think early on he might get punished even more so. So they take away the Terizla. think, yeah, that's going to be a tell that they want to pick their roamer in the 4th pick. Then their gold laner will be last.
I also do feel like RSG Philippines at this point would definitely want a winning matchup for Nibor as much as
For
possible.
sure, yes.
So if ever this is going to be the Ruby that they're putting in the XP lane, they want to take out all of those XP laners, those other XP laners that may pose a threat. As of now, the Edith, Terizla, and Phobius are already gone though.
Yeah.
Yesterday though, and in other previous days, we've seen a lot of surprise picks suddenly rise up in numbers. I'm not entirely sure if Flapteasy has something in mind for us. There are other hero picks that Flapteasy previously showed us as well. There's still the glue, which he occasionally uses when he wants to.
I'm glad that you mentioned the glue. I wouldn't turn off the idea that maybe Falcon Ap.Bren are thinking along the lines of, if it's good enough, a glue or even a Khalid, what Sanford brought out yesterday against Omega, and then just go for a quick level 1 rotation. But I'm sure RSG Philippines will be watching out for that, considering that we saw it happen yesterday. So, yeah, they take out the Grok. Cho, I think they're more willing to give. I think RSG Philippines needs to go ahead and pick that up right now. Go ahead, do it.
Okay. Is it going to be the Cho? Is it going to be the Cho here for what other pick of heroes? There's the Kaja. It's a common counter to the Fanny, but at the same time,
I guess against the Tigreal, I'm a little bit scared for a Kaja.
It's a little bit scary to play that against the Tigreal. There's also the Jawhead, but then you wouldn't want to bring the Tigreal close enough to RSG Philippines or your other members.
Yeah.
And it might just be hard to scout whoever the damage dealers here for Falcon's Ap.Bren maybe, but they don't decide to pick up the Cho just yet, okay? They get the Claude instead.
They can wait out on it a little bit more. They take away a great gold laner that would have slotted very well for Falcon's Ap.Bren in their lineup. Looking at Ogwin's stats, he is undefeated with Tigreal. And fun fact for Tigreal, actually, this week of MPL Philippines, he's undefeated. He's 5-0 in week number 6.
So this is probably what you also previously mentioned, the strengths of a Tigreal in terms of not just setting things up, but also potentially counter-engaging the enemies, which is a huge thing that you would want to consider up against or between these two teams who are fighting against each other. But Falcons Ap.Bren, they themselves decide to take the high loss. So,
here we go. Here we go. It's Alice Gold Lane, and they go with double EXP laner, sustain, high damage. Thing is, for Falcons Ap.Bren, they don't have like a hard source of basic attack, but this is the meta now. This is a great option. Even though they don't have it, you can just throw bodies and take them down.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can already imagine.
And it's tough. If we follow the same idea earlier for RSG Philippines and say go Cho, it's way too much dive pressure even for Cho to pick off. So see what they're gonna end up picking in the roam here.
Would you still want to go for a pick-off reliant roamer at this point? I think that's the question I have in mind.
I want something sturdy.
Yep.
That's sturdy.
That's sturdy.
That's sturdy for sure.
All right, so it may not be entirely RSG Philippines immediately going in for the engages or the dives per se, since they don't decide to go for a fully dive comp anymore. It's more on probably waiting for what Falcons Ap.Bren has to do. But again, we have to keep in mind RSG Philippines, they're struggling whenever they tend to let go of the early game advantage. So how are they going to secure that, especially against this lineup of Falcons Ap.Bren, who might just be the lineup with a little bit more pressure applied towards RSG?
Yeah, this game will be determined by the rotations of the first two turtles. Is there going to be a cut? Who's going to invade first? Who's going to get picked out first? And who wins the mid?
There's a lot of things that we have to look out for. But for now, let's watch this game number 1 and head over to our caster.
Alex and Renmar, thanks for breaking down the draft. Welcome to the Land of Dawn. Jose, Ingan, and Leo at your service, bringing you this bout of best of 3 between Falcons Ap.Bren and RSG. How do you like that? How do you like that bloody, bulletproof Marco?
I like it. I mean, it gives Marco more ways than one to outplay opposing gold laners, again with the flowing blood. And Auntie and Ara mentioned this a while ago, and as well as the English panel, that in terms of damage, they can keep up with gold laners early to mid-game.
Yeah, it's more a matter of waiting until 4 or 5 of them are ready to lean in. They have a very different pacing throughout the game. And check this out, Flap, 2 versus 3.
Okay. So look at this. I see 3 tank. Do you count Alice as a tank now, or is it adjusted?
She's a hybrid.
Hybrid, right? Oh, let's just say we have 3 tanks in the Land of Dawn right now.
4 Falcons Ap.Bren.
4 Falcons Ap.Bren. If you're gonna count Light, so that's 4. Well, look at how the meta just shifted. All of a sudden, 1 patch, and we're seeing different heroes.
1 patch, 72 hours. It's ridiculous what the best of the best in the world can do. Talk about RSG though. Something I will say. The silver lining in the relatively harsh weekend that they're experiencing, I like that they actually put the Ruby in Nibor's hands. Ask me why.
Why?
Because if you put a high loss in his hands like yesterday, his battle spell going, oh, wait. Oh, great. No, he's fine. All right. So his battle spell going off cooldown doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But here, with the flicker, I'm offended. He can do something.
Yeah, plus Renmar and the English panel brigade also mentioned that. Oh, it was Nats pala. Sorry. Nats mentioned that in terms of mechanical skills, Nibor is really excellent.
He's
Dominates the XP lane matchup. And you can't do that with the Hylos because what are you going to do? Just toggle on the Ring of Punishment. That's it. Glorious Pathway. With the Nibor Ruby,
right.
You know he can do much more.
Whoa. Here we go. Turtle fight. At Retribution Threshold. What?
Oh, Light shines bright as he gets the turtle, but here comes FCAP for Glacier for Aqua just to stop the engagement.
It's moments like this where FCAP will really struggle. When you're looking at their lineup, sure, they're very good at throwing bodies, they're very good at sustained damage, but if you need a sudden burst, really their only options are Kyle TZ swooping in like a superhero, like Spider-Man, like Miles Morales, you know what I mean? Or you also have Few, who has to perfectly come in and lay down the magic burst. Yeah. And that's it. Everyone else you kind of see coming from a mile away.
Yeah, especially Super Marco. It's really easy to predict the flowing blood where it's gonna get casted. I mean, we seen this yesterday when was it Marco who predicted? No, it was Benny Cutie who predicted it. But here comes Ogwen with the implosion. They want to go for the burst. It's gonna go on to Light. He needs to pop the Revitalize though. Still Tanky was able to cast the AOG to walk away scot-free. Still no trade for Falcons Ap.Bren.
AOG punishing the AOB. Ain't no burst up in here for Falcons Ap.Bren. And folks, expect that there's not going to be any burst at all. Like, even in the late game, because sure, as Falcons Ap.Bren scales up, RSG will also just build up their items. So they are, you know, relatively growing in pace. That's what I was saying by Falcons Ap.Bren not having a normal pace when it comes to dealing damage and having team fights. They have to be very smart in using these extended engages and use their strengths. They're at DOT! Aqua's in trouble!
Here comes the burst Kyle TZ wants, but Aqua is still alive, still has the Pride of Ice, not even popped yet. Now Light making sure that the clash will stop there. And this is what you were telling. Where will the burst come from? You mentioned Kyle TZ, but even Kyle TZ's lacking the damage.
I mean, we have to be patient. It's 4 minutes in. This is a Fanny. Sure, if you're fast enough, you come in with enough velocity at the right trajectory, you should deal enough damage. But not just like that, not willy-nilly, not alone. Turtle spawning, lower quarter of the map, Light first to the scene. Really, if it's not 5 members of FCAP coming in, best believe these objectives aren't so easy to get. AOG on Few!
Oh, Few, Purify. Manages to escape. Here comes Flap TZ with a glorious pathway. Now Kyle TZ still cables in. Going for the backline. Aqua Power Device will be casted there. First blood. Flap TZ draws it onto Nibor. Now Light working on Few. On the chase. Will he be able to take him down though? Here comes Super Marco. This time he's being the bulletproof for Few. The defense of a lifetime for Marco. Light is still alive as they work on the turtle as well. But Iran's gonna get the turtle. Now the kill onto Light. How many seconds was Light alive during that clash?
I'll tell you, way too long. He was alive for way too long. And this is what we're talking about. FCAP can't deal the right amount of burst to punish RSG from overextending. If anything, RSG can use that fact to buy time to trade out. And now check this out. Kyle TZ using what little burst. Oh, blazing the wet!
Oh, from Kosei.
Oh,
Kyle TZ manages to escape. But so far, okay, Kyle TZ's performing well. In terms of his mechanical skills, it's all there. But the problem is just the damage.
Yeah.
The damage is not just enough yet.
It's hardly a case of it's not how you use it, it's what you got. And now coming in, Implosion!
Speaking of using the implosion there to bring down Aqua. AOG will be casted. Kyle TZ still alive, manages to evade the death coming in from Irad. And there was another kill for Falcons AP.Bren. Ogwin, what a beautiful setup.
Dear Lord, Kyle Teasy's career just flashed before his eyes. He was down to like a tenth of his health, able to cable away, escaping possibly a basic attack. Although he would have been short maybe 1 or 2 since they were relative softies in there. Check out Flap and the rest of Falcons AP.Bren flexing their versatility. This is Kyle, Teasy's Fanny, and Super Marco's debut picks for both players this season. They now have picked 40 unique heroes amongst their team, all in all.
Wait, I swore I saw Kyle Teasy use the Fanny this season. This was the first time he used the Fanny?
They never let it open.
Oh.
Other players have played Fanny, but not Kyle.
You have to respect. You have to respect Kyle Teasy's Fanny.
Hey, he's the one above all. All right, and now FCAP is the one above all at 40 unique picks overall. They're the ones who debuted the Eve, by the way, in FPL Philippines Season 14, much to my chagrin. Turtle spawning, lower quarter. This is the last turtle of this game. 3-0 still. Ogwin versus the scene, pushed out by Nibor and Kusei. Look at Light, taking the flank. There's a conceal.
Okay, Light, just waiting for the perfect moment to cast the AOG. Ogwin doesn't have his flicker though, but Nibor knows where the rest of the bees are hiding as FCAP holds this turtle.
They pull slightly. An advantage to Falcons AP.Bren. Nibor, a witness to this. He's in trouble. Him and Light. This is 5 members, by the way. Ready to sandwich. There's a glorious pathway.
Here comes Flap TZ, AOG coming in from Light. Now an implosion onto the backline, but the damage will be enough though. Here comes Super Marco, plus the Eternal Guard. They're going to burst down Nibor. And there was no trade for RSG as Kyle TZ gets the turtle.
There's way too much happening in such a small part of the map. A concentrated amount of damage. All right. You see that glorious pathway, implosion, Eternal Guard, and then for the stragglers, you have Super Marco just, laying down the blood. Oh, dear Lord.
It's too much. Too much right now for RSG. Again, even the Sacred Hammer might even do the job to bring down Light here. But a Cursed Blast will blast down Light.
He folded that boy in half.
Here comes Kyle TZ. Kosei has to pop the Blazing Duet, manages to escape with a BMI out. Does he have more energy to find Kosei? Here comes Kyle, Super Kyle!
Bang!
One more hit!
What? That's the Kamai King getting away with it!
You know, if my Falcons AP.Bren, specifically Kyle, I have the lead. In terms of kills, 5-0 plus a 1.6k gold lead, I'm still gonna be tilted after all that.
Jose, exactly why they are world champions. Exactly why we're on desk and they're not.
Yeah.
Well, they're on some sort of desk, but they're playing and they have the discipline. 5-0. 8.5 minutes in, almost 2k ahead. And here we were talking about how they don't have any burst. They can't really, lay down the smackdown on the turtle early on, but they scored the last one, and that's what counts. Well, sure enough, the rest of the map looks like it belongs to RSG,
yeah.
But give it some time, Falcons AP.Bren will convert into better objectives. Look at the community prediction. 84.5% of everyone watching thinks it should be FCAP given how rough it has been for RSG. But here's the thing, just one turnaround. I think it's still possible for RSG since they do have Nibor who hasn't done much yet. A single I'm offended could turn the tides. Maybe even Light, if he catches like 3 with an AOG.
Yeah, like the one, how he started things off a while ago. Even though it didn't transition to kills, it did secure RSG the first 2 turtles. And with that single play, they could also replicate it this time by securing the Lord.
And really, we haven't seen the mechanic pop off just yet. He's waiting for the right tools to come in. Picking up that HC, Holy Crystal. That's multiples of his magic damage going up in a single item. He is about at the same level, if anything, higher XP than Kyle. So that means Irad isn't behind. It's just he hasn't been able to really get much kills.
Yeah, having a hard time really finding those pickoffs. They do have the crowd control, even the Frigid Glacier from Aqua. But again, we've been saying there are a lot of kits coming in from Falcons AP.Bren. You mentioned the Glorious Pathway, the Implosion, even Few has been dealing a lot of damage. And here comes Ogwin once again! Nibor though, since he has a Brave Spine, he has an extra sustain. And again, an almost kill for Falcons AP.Bren.
Wow, kudos to Nibor there, given that was Ogwin and Kyle, who were, what, I would assume at this point miles away in terms of net worth. He was like 50 cent, he walked away with a bullet in him.
Ooh, but Ogwin though, he did cast the Implosion and the Flicker, so that's 2 major resources down for
Yeah.
Falcons AP.Bren.
Should
This could be an opening for RSG unless they just trade the Lord for turret push up top.
Should be huge here. FCAP first to the scene. Lord approaching half health. Light charging it up, although he is in no man's land. This is tough. Flat plate the man-to-man defense. Here's a soft reset.
Okay, here comes Kyle TZ onto Kosei, forcing the Blazing Duet once again. Another resource down for RSG. Will this be an opening for the Bees?
It should be enough, though. I mean, RSG are standing their ground. FCAP don't have a clear go at it. That's the top lane taken care of. Huge wave marching up. Kyle TZ taking his purple first, so they're taking their time as Kusei bum rushes towards the pit.
Okay. Keep an eye out for Nibor. These are the moments wherein Nibor shines again. Highly mechanical player. One I'm offended play, catching the Bees off guard, can indeed turn the tides for RSG.
Could be momentum shifting towards the Raiders. No one home. Lord fully reset here. Interesting how the Lord Shuffle has taken such a turn. You don't even have to hide anymore. Very rarely are teams caught off guard by vision. Yeah. Sometimes you just know where they are. It's just a matter of execution. Implosion!
An Implosion paired up with the Glorious Pathway. This time Kyle TZ pops the Pride of Ice and makes sure to secure the kill. That's his first kill onto Aqua. And Nibber falls down as well. Falcons AP.Bren might get an uncontested Lord.
2 men down. Just Light Irad and Kusei on the map. This is what I was talking about. Again, you knew they were there. It was just a matter of time before you bumped into a bush that had 2 lethal ults waiting for you in it.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're down 2 dudes.
Yeah, it's not a matter of are you going to catch someone. It's a matter of how many are you going to catch. And in that case, I think Ogwin caught 1. But the follow-up from Kyle TZ forced Aqua. But this again, even running after the tank is here from RSG. Cutthroat will not finish the job. Light will indeed be safe, but RSG has to deal with the Lord.
That's what you call a TKO. You don't even have to really kill him. Just send him home. That's enough.
Oh, 1v1.
Irad. Oh, no. Oh, all right. He knows. He knows. He senses it. He senses it. This isn't a 1v1. This is an honorable duel, man.
Yeah, almost. Super Marco, though. 2-0-2 for this Alice. And the Falcons AP.Bren 3.6k gold lead. A while ago, Owen doesn't have his flicker. But with the Lord marching up top,
right,
plus the availability of the flicker, you can ensure that he'll make a really aggressive set to even end the game. Again, Ogwen with the Stigreal, one of the most used heroes, 100% win rate when he's rocking this hero.
It's crazy. He didn't even have to use the flicker. He didn't even have to play off of a conceal that last time. Now here comes the more!
But Implosion! Just to counter out Frigid Glacier, though, as RSG answers right back. Kosei has to use the BMI out. Double kill coming in from the Raiders, as Ogwen and Pew are the ones left. Ogwen's gonna fall down. Only the El Capitan is left as he takes down Aqua. And that's the defense the Raiders are really banking for right now.
What I tell you, Jose, what I tell you. 1, I'm offended. Turning the tides. Taking out 4. Few the only one left, and suddenly RSG shift gears, going on the offensive. Look at that, the gold lead, almost down to 1,000. They take 2 turrets.
And the best part, it's only Aqua who died. Kosei is still alive, although he didn't make much use of the Blazing Duet because he had to use the BMI out in order to evade the burst from Falcons AP.Bren. The damage from the Frigid Glacier and the setup was more than enough to aid Nibor's excellent I'm offended play. How many did he catch? Was it 3? 3, 4?
3, and then the rest of FCAP were forced to respond. I don't know if Ogwen was part of it. One could argue that as a Tigreal, you kind of enjoy being pulled by the I'm offended. Like, thanks for putting me in a position, right?
Yeah.
But if you're underneath a turret, that just makes it worse. That's a damage multiplier.
Yeah, that's what makes Aqua's Frigid Glacier more crucial because Ogwen actually flickered in, used the implosion after Nibor did that I'm offended play. But after the implosion, with the Frigid Glacier being casted, they were able to counterattack. So that was a crucial timing for Aqua for them to turn things around. But Falcons AP.Bren, though, with one level 1 Lord, it's still a win for them because they were able to take an inhibitor up top.
Pyrrhic victory, if you ask me. Cost them a lot, but they got what they wanted on the way out. Looking at the gold lead here. Again, just down to 600. There's the implosion. This could be a fight!
Wow! Takes 5 Bs to bring down Light. Was it all worth it though? Because RSG might go for the counter engage. Baptiste starts things off once again with the Glory's Pathway. Kosei still being able to free hit here. Irad goes for the backline after Few, but Ogwin is there to defend his captain. And a killing spree coming in from Few in exchange for bulletproof Marco.
Irad and Light for Marco. It's odd seeing Marco play this role. Being so upfront, playing the peel. It's uncanny. I'm not comfortable with it, but hey, FCAP have to do what they gotta do to get a win in week 6. Now looking at the Lord, I'm not so sure if it's so free. Given that RSG can actually just send Light in there, if FCAP's gonna blitz it,
Yeah.
by all means, try. But again, they still don't have the burst. The same dynamics are in play here. That's why these team fights last so long. Even with just a 1 for 2, a 2 for 3, like they would still last upwards of 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, and the best part is, for RSG, they have a natural marksman, a pure marksman, known for dominating the late game. Kosei with the Claude. Looking at the KDA, this time he's the one who's bulletproof. 104, always casting the Purifier right on time. Even if not all the bullets of the Blazing Duet are connecting, the important thing is his positioning. He was able to dish out a lot of basic attacks. That's why they were able to burst down members from Falcon's Ap.Bren. And now RSG, Nibor was the X Factor plus Aqua during the defense. Nibor has to replicate it this time and secure the Lord for Irad.
I don't disagree with you. All right, I think Nibor has to play a key role here, but also some good news for the Raiders. It's not just on Nibor now. I think RSG have farmed up to the point where they close the gap. 3K, 4K gold lead, no more, just 500, 600. And they have enough items to actually punish FCAP. Look at that, the Lantern on Aqua. Now the Lord, down to a fifth of his health, a 10th.
Here comes the blitz from Falcon's Ap.Bren. Irad nowhere to be found. That's why it's going to be free. Kyle TC gets the Lord. Now an AOG coming in from Light. Here comes the Frigid Glacier. Nibor onto the back line. Going to bring down Ogwin. Here comes Kosei with the Blazing Duet. In exchange for 2, Ogwin and Flap TC is going to fall down as well. A Lord for 2 bodies. Might be a win for RSG.
I'll call it a win, man, by a very small margin. Look at the Raiders marching through mid. They want to penetrate. They want to make sure FCAP remembers this risky trade. Oh, it comes Kyle!
Beautiful taunt from Light to make sure there is no burst once again from Kyle TZ. We've been seeing a lot of steel cables cutthroat play from Kyle, but looking at this KDA, only 1 kill so far.
Man, Light, just like Dumbledore from Percy Jackson, you shall not pass. That could have been lethal. Kusei could have died there. Aqua could have gotten his passive pop. Irad could have died again.
Yeah.
Irad's not building the Blood Wings. Like, he doesn't need it. Like, he knows that I'm here to just get kills. And he's not the usual, he built concentrated energy.
Yeah.
So he's going off of the fact that I will deal damage to hurt you to keep myself alive.
Yeah, he doesn't need to go first. We've been seeing a lot of times Irad always goes for the late entry along with Kosei. It's always Nibor and Light starting things off.
But imagine if Kyle got him. There wouldn't have been some damage for Irad to put out, so he would have died. He would have gotten bursted through.
That's how much trust he has with Light.
And luckily Light comes through. Like what? 4 out of 5 times this game? That's why Irad only died once.
Imagine to counteract those steel cables. Normally you'd have a Kufra with a bouncing ball, but the taunt was enough for Light this time. They find Flap TZ.
Uh-oh.
Will they be able to force out the Glorious Pathway? Here comes Ogwin with the conceal. He has the flicker though. Kyle TZ once again for the backline with the cutthroat. Irad and Kosei still alive. Now on the charge for the Beast. They're working on Aqua. Does he have the Pride Device? He does have it. And the Frigid Glacier as well. But look at the base. Kyle TZ doesn't care about the clash anymore. I don't want kills. Kyle TZ makes sure we get the win!
It happened again! It happened again! Falcons Ap.Bren win off of minions. It happened again, Jose.
Kyle TZ has had enough. This game's gonna mess up my KDA, but I'm just gonna make sure we're gonna win with an amazing split push off distraction from the rest of his teammates.
I wonder what Alex and Redmar think as we throw it over to the Infinix Game to buy and talk to us about them minions.